47.8 days. That is how long the median state could operate using only its rainy day fund at the end of fiscal year 2025. 1 year earlier, it was 54.5 days. So after the pandemic era money and unusual strong tax collections, the financial cushion is beginning to shrink. Now, here is where politicians play games with the public. They tell you we passed a balanced budget, like that sentence automatically means the state is financially healthy. No, it does not. I spent 50 years working inside the government, systems and managing and dealing with construction programs. If I tell leadership that my project is on budget today while hiding tomorrow's maintenance bill and unfunded requirement and schedule of failure, that project is not healthy. I simply move the problem outside the reporting window. States can do the same thing. A state can technically balance its annual operating budget by using one-time federal payments, underfunding pensions, pulling cash from reserves, or pushing maintenance into the future. The spreadsheet may balance for that year, but the system is becoming weaker. So if we want to rank the state finances honestly, we need more than one number. I would use 5. First, recurring revenue compared with recurring expenses. If a state collects $100 in recurring revenue but has $105 in recurring commitments, it has a structural problem. Selling property, receiving emergency federal aid, or transferring money from another account may close the gap once. It does not repair the operating model. Second, reserves measured in operating days. Do not only ask how many billions a state has saved. California will naturally hold more dollars than Wyoming because it operates a much larger government. Ask how long those reserves could keep the system running. The Pew reported that Wyoming had enough rainy day savings for about 320 operating days in fiscal year 2025. New Jersey reported 0 days. The national median was 47.8 days. That does not automatically make Wyoming perfect. Wyoming relies heavily on volatile mineral and service tax revenue, so it needs a larger cushion. Context matters. A system exposed to unstable revenue should carry more protection against that risk. Third, debt relative to the state's own revenue and economy. Raw debt totals can mislead you. A large state can responsibly carry more debt than a small state if the borrowing finances durable infrastructure and repayment remains affordable. The question is what was purchased, how long it will last, and whether the debt service is crowding out essential operations. Borrowing for a bridge expected to last 75 years is different from borrowing to cover routine payroll. One creates a long-term asset, the other means current operations cannot support themselves. Fourth, pension and retiree obligations. This is where states can appear healthy in the short term while passing the invoice to future benefits, but does not contribute enough money to fund them. That liability does not disappear, it compounds. Fifth, deferred maintenance. This one gets ignored constantly. A state can make its annual numbers look better by postponing road repairs, water system upgrades, school maintenance, and equipment replacement. But deferred maintenance is debt wearing a work uniform. The asset continues deteriorating, and eventually the repair usually costs more. This is why I do not want a politician ranking built around red states versus blue states. I want a performance dashboard. Show residents recurring revenue, recurring expenses, reserve days, debt service, pension funding, and deferred maintenance exposure. Then stress test the budget against a recession, natural disaster, loss of federal funding, or sudden Medicaid cost increase. Pew found that states combine rainy day funds and ending balances could cover a median of about 91.6 operating days in fiscal year 2025, roughly 2 weeks less than the year before. That does not mean every state is in crisis. It means that unusual large post-pandemic cushion is eroding. And now we get to see which states built durable systems and which one were living off of temporary conditions. Truth in accounting uses another method based on whether states have enough available resources to cover their obligations. Under its 2025 report, using fiscal 2024 statements, 25 states did not. That is not the only valid methodology, but it reinforces the central point. Balancing 1 year's legal defined budget is not the same as funding the entire system honestly. Think about your household. You can say your checking account balance this month while carrying credit card debt, ignoring a leaky roof, contributing nothing to retirement, and using savings to pay groceries. Technically, the account did not overdraft. Financially, you are moving toward failure. Government should not receive a weaker standard than a household, a business, or an engineering program. My rule is simple. A financially healthy state should be able to fund recurring operations with recurring revenue, maintain a risk-appropriate reserve, pay down its long-term obligations, maintain its assets, and survive a realistic shock without immediately raising taxes or cutting essential services. This is the ranking I want to see. Tell me your state in the comments. I want to know whether whether it publishes an actual long-term stress test or simply celebrates passing another annual budget.